Hello friends, today once again I am going to discuss the important articles of the Hindi newspaper. So let's move and look at here. So what are the important articles which are given here are important for your prelims as well as mains examination. So this news which relates to environment and is talking about the Western Ghat. So important question for you: how many states are part of Western Ghat of India? Kindly tell me in the comment box. And what are here the important news is, as Kerala debates the Supreme Court order for maintaining at least a kilometer of eco-sensitive zone for protected area. Western Ghats EPEP report, popularly known as Gadgil report, once again is spinning back to public discourse. Okay, so here article is talking about Supreme Court's ruling with regards to Western Ghat, with regards to eco-sensitive zone, as well as this article is also talking about a report which was given by Gadgil committee with regards to Western Ghats preservation protection. Okay, so you can read more about these in your reference notes about Western Ghat. What are here given important information I am going to discuss. So let's look at here. Causes of Hawkeye. So what are the important as Kerala hotly debate Supreme Court order for maintaining at least 1 kilometer of eco-sensitive zone or ESZ to protected area. The WGEP report, popularly known as the Gadgil report, once again is spinning back to public discourse in Kerala. A decade after the WGEP panel report was released in public domain, the man and the report are being repeatedly discussed. Why? It had taken a year and a half, 14 meetings across the Ghat states, several brainstorming sessions, public consultation, and field visit for the panel to evolve a methodology to categorize Western Ghat into 3 zones of varied ecological sensitivity and suggest broad sectoral guidelines for each of these zones. So no one had any hint of political unrest the report was to trigger in a state which a significant segment of its population settled in Western Ghat. Okay. It also witnessed a pro-Congress politician entering for a left-backed independent candidate supported by church-backed High Court Samaksha Samiti. Not too much important written here. You can follow your basic reference notes which have information with regard to Western Ghat, Gadgil committee, eco-sensitive zone, as well as Supreme Court's ruling. And the important news: Eknath Shinde is Maharashtra CM, Fadnavis is Deputy CM. One day exam, important for one day exam. Okay. And bank NBFCs have capital to withstand any stocks as RBI. You can read it on page number 16. Okay. So it is about disaster management. 8 killed in Manipur landslide. Why? Flood alert issued. Okay, due to flood, this landslip happened. Debris from landslip blockage of mountain river Izai. So where is river Izai? I said I. So it is in Manipur, which you have to remember. District administration has opened center to supply relief material. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah have spoken to Manipur Chief Minister and Biren Singh. So you have to remember the Chief Minister of Manipur and Biren Singh is the Chief Minister of Manipur and ex-Garde announced. Okay. So move forward and find out another another important news which are relevant for our exam. And here is important news which is giving with regard to ban on single-use plastic, which is enforced from 1st June. Okay. Vendors say price of paper cups has shot up due to increase in demand. So here article is talking about alternatives of single-use plastic bags. They had a ban on 19 single-use plastic items. Many parts of cities subscribe use of such products. Several reusing these items said the ban will increase their expenditure, which is also right. Meanwhile, the Delhi Pollution Control Board has formed 15 team and Revenue Department has formed 33 team for enforcement of the ban from Friday. Okay. Expensive alternative. About a month ago, I bought a pack of 50 large paper cups for 120. 3 days ago, I got the same for 150. Okay, Mr. Junes said. Problems. So you can put these points while in your man's answer writing. Fight against plastic pollution. Okay. I will discuss only those news which are important for our examination. Okay, come look. So here the tutorial is given. So I am going to discuss important editorial. Now look at here, home and abroad. PM Modi ji shaman commitment on protecting freedom will face scrutiny in India. Geopolitics Trump economics at annual summit about most industrialized countries. So G7 group is most industrialized group. The G7 is known as the German Resort Schools Emily. A summit Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended along with other special invitees from Argentina, Indonesia, Senegal, South Africa. The G7 countries did have economic initiative on their agenda, including the launch $600 billion US-led partnership for global infrastructure and investment. Okay, commitment on fighting climate change, funding renewable energy change, mitigation, inflation, managing continued global crisis over the COVID-19 pandemic. It was clear that most of the deliberation took aim at the bid it is doing challenging from Russia and China. Okay, And what are other important news here? 20, 28 page communique altered between outlying challenge to the international order remain from Moscow's war in Ukraine, including tightening sanctions, impact on energy market, cybersecurity, trade, and Beijing's expensive maritime claim, right violation, and unsustainable debt creation in lower countries. Okay, G7 countries issue separate statement on support for Ukraine. G7 and special invitee partner countries issue a statement on resilient democracies committing to free and fair election, protecting freedom of expression, gender empowerment. Message for Russia and China was made even more pointed at subsequent NATO summit in Madrid, where the US transatlantic allies invited US trans-Pacific allies to discuss security challenge. Given the target nature of G7 outcome, India had its cut off its balancing power with China as well as Western countries. Prime Minister Modi made it clear that it is the developing world that needs the most support, including to whether the knock-on effect of Russia-Ukraine conflict. Governments sought to distance itself from the PGIA, which G7 China Belt and Road Initiative, and made it evident that India had only signed on to resilient democracies. Okay. And what are other important on the global stage? G7 outcome in New Delhi will have to continue to work a tightrope between these two blocs and are growing more polarized and inimical towards each other. On the Indian side, Mr. Modi's G7 commitment will be scrutinized for his pronouncement on democracy and his written assurance that his government protects civic society, freedom of expression, thought, conscience, religion, or belief, which are facing challenges within the country. Also, do not weaken the anti-defection law. Disqualification. Not much important news. This ends list. Free fall of rupee. So here news. Free fall of rupee. By countries increasing their interest rates, but the ways in which RBI has tried to England to be hit an all-time low against US dollar this weakening was 79 rupees to a dollar mark and selling as a low. Many analysts expect the rupee to weaken further in the coming month and move past 80. In fact, the International Monetary Fund expects the rupee to weaken past rupee to a dollar mark financial year. Okay. The news is what is happening with rupee, why all these are happening with rupee, why the value of rupee is falling day by day with regard to US dollar. What is happening? Indian rupee has been witnessing a steady decline this year, losing more than 6% against US dollar. Since the beginning of the 2022, India's forex reserve has also dropped to below $600 billion, 600 billion, plunging by more than 2 billion since September 3, 2021, when forex reserves stood at an all-time high, 642 billion. Drop in India's forex reserve is believed to be largely due to step taken by Reserve Bank to support rupee. RBI officials, however, have noted that the drop in forex reserve is due to fall in dollar value of assets held reserved by RBI. It should be noted that as a matter of policy, Indian Central Bank has usually tried to slow down, smoothen rather than the reserve prevent the fall in exchange value of rupee against US dollar. MF RBI forces dollar rupee to find its natural value in the market, but without undue volatility of causing unnecessary panic among investors. By thus selling dollars in the open market in exchange for rupee, the RBI can improve demand for rupee and cohesion. What is causing rupee to lose value against dollar? Since March this year, US Federal Reserve has been raising its benchmark interest rate, causing investors seeking higher return to pull away from emerging markets such as India and back into the US. This in turn has put pressure on emerging market currencies, which have depreciated significantly against US dollar. So this year, even developed market currencies such as the new euro and yen have depreciated against the dollar, and the dollar index is up more than. This was all important. According to UN figure, last week's earthquake in southern Afghanistan killed around 770 people. Here is accused on earthquake, one of the most devastating natural disaster. Modified PSLV places 3 foreign satellite into orbit. And Russia withdraws from Snake Island. So why this island is in news? Ukraine said it has driven the enemy forces out a massive artillery missile assault overnight. So what is Russian forces abandoned that strategic Black Sea outpost at Snake Island on Thursday. Russia's defense ministry said it has decided to withdraw from the outgroup as a gesture of goodwill. So Moscow was not obstructing any effort to open a humanitarian corridor. So that's it for today.